Nemanja Nikolic and the Chicago Fire come to Children's Mercy Park looking to take on Sporting Kansas City and come out with a W. And Sporting Kansas City looks to get a W without Dom Dwyer, without Gerso Fernadez after a 3-game draw streak. Can Sporting Kansas City stack up and get the W with Chicago Fire? I'll tell you in this video, in this match preview coming up. Nathan Mullock, Kansas Sports TV here, the #1 sports channel for your Kansas sports news. And Sporting Kansas City, 19 games unbeaten at home.
Hey, you know how to dab?
Look to take on the Chicago Fire and not in that streak against one of the better teams of the league, second in the Eastern Conference with 38 points. Now, Sporting Kansas City's recent form is 3 draws and 2 wins in the last 5 games. The last game was a 1-1 good draw, even though it's always disappointing to draw against Real Salt Lake away without 3 of its 4 defenders and the starting back 4 usually. And 10 games unbeaten in a row in all competitions. Will take it, even though a lot of those are draws. And the 5 of the last 7 MLS games have been draws. Now, on the Chicago Fire's recent form, it's a 2-1 loss to New York City FC to 10 men, like I said earlier. It's really disappointing for the Chicago Fire. I believe it also ended a home game, a home non-losing streak, however you want to put it. And that's massive loss for them. And they're going to be looking to bounce back after having a recent bad patch of form with 2 losses, 2 draws, and a win in the last 5 matches. Now, Sporting Kansas City gets its own section here where we won't have to talk about Sporting Kansas City is because of roster changes. Dom Dwyer was traded for $1.66 million, which ended up being a lot better than the 4.5 offered by Olympiacos because of the GAM and I think I might be using the wrong pronunciations, but the TAM. I think it's GAM and TAM are just add up to so much, and if we sold to a foreign team they would have gotten more, but that means we lost Dom Dwyer in the middle of the season instead of before the season, and now it looks to slow us down as Gerso Fernadez, our top goal scorer, is also suspended for this match and will be out, our typical striker that we've had for the last 3 years that we expect to see game in, game out. So now we have to try to find either a replacement or use Diego Rubio, Daniel Scioli to fill that spot, and we love both of those players, but I don't know if I can trust one of them to be a game in, game out striker. And then the other things, Beasler and Zusi returning from the U.S. men's national team, who have played full 90 minutes the last 2 games, so it's going to be interesting to see how they come back from the U.S. men's national team if they can make a start against the Chicago Fire. Now, we're going to get on to the next thing for both teams, is the threats for each team. Chicago Fire threats include top goal scorer in the MLS, Nemanja Nikolic. Other threats are Bastian Schweinsteiger, who has 5 assists and is a really creative player. Other top goal scorers, sorry I'm looking at my notes really quick, on the Chicago Fire are David Akam, who didn't start last game, but I expect him to be in the starting 11. I'll get onto that later. And Luis Solignas, I don't know how to say that name, but he's 3rd on the goal scoring list for 4, and Schweinsteiger has 2 goals on the season. Top assister is Cam again. He's looking like he's a solid player. He's got 7 assists, scored 7 assists, that makes no sense. Then we got Michael DeLue, the guy who won the game for Chicago Fire last time these 2 teams played, and he has 5 assists in the season, along with Bastian Schweinsteiger, who also has 5 assists in the season. So those are the threats for Chicago Fire against Sporting Kansas City. Sporting Kansas City's threats going forward are honestly limited now. We got Latif Blessing now starting on the left lane most likely. You got Diego Rubio, Daniel Scioli, and Benny Feilhaber, the main 4 threats that will be available for this game. Other players can obviously score, but those are the main threats. And without Iko Parra on set pieces, he would be a threat even from the center back spot, but he's out with a concussion, which I forgot to mention earlier for roster changes. So he's out, so there's really limited options for his goals in Sporting Kansas City squad unless it comes from an unexpected source or a striker, a player that hasn't necessarily been relied on to score yet. So, now we're going to talk about the way both teams play and how I think they'll stack up against each other. So, both teams are possession heavy. I'm going to go with the strengths of Sporting Kansas City and the weaknesses. Strengths are wing play. We have fast wingers now, unlike last year with Brad Davis and Justin Mapp, which was absolute crap with Justin Mapp. And possession heavy, as we already said. A few long shots here and there, especially I get annoyed when Espinoza goes and tries to hit one because he always just smacks it over the bar. But sometimes they work out, and sometimes the goalkeeper, we got some lucky goalkeeper mistakes. And one of them was Sony Saad, which I'm surprised even, I've made a comment in the videos previous that I don't know how he can hit the ocean on a cruise ship surrounded by ocean if he could hit the ocean. He missed the goal completely, and the goalie hit it in for him, so I guess he doesn't need to hit the ocean. He can hit the land, and the land will hit it back to the ocean. I don't know. But anyways, he's just not going to play. And if he does play, I'm going to the game, so I'm going to be pissed off. I'm going to be making a match.
Great practical joke, Jim. Got me go to the annex. No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Match experience video about it, but if he, vlogging style, but if he misses that, if he get, Peter Vermees, it's the fact, the thought, if somebody stop plays, I will be very sad to see odd play. It will be not good. So that is a weakness right there. If Sonny Saad plays, if he has to play because of some weird reason. The third best defense in the league is a strength. Breaking down counterattack has been impossible for us. And now without Dom Dwyer and Gerso Fernadez, it's going to be even more impossible. So you might as well just park the bus if you get a goal and you're going to win. Especially if you get a red card. Get a red card, we can't score against you because you just park the bus at 10 minutes in front of the goal. And we never get a little bit of luck. And we've only gotten one PK all year, and that was last game. So we got screwed out of some real good freaking murders in the box. And then the possession, weakness is goal scoring, obviously, because we're one of the lowest scoring teams of the league. But now we're going to move on to Chicago's strengths and weaknesses. They're a possession-oriented team, like I've already said. They also will look to get the ball creative more in the midfield, probably more than Sporting Kansas City would, as we'd look to play it over the top, down the wings more so, and maybe go for a few more through balls. Against Sporting Kansas City, though, it's going to be interesting to see if they try to play a possession style away. I'll get into that more later. They have the leading goal scorer in the MLS, which is a strength. They have the second worst defense, which is a weakness, and their possession is the... why do I keep saying their possession is? They're the highest goal scoring team, second in the league. So that's pretty good that they're the second leading goal scorer, and they have the leading goal scorer in the league. That correlates, that makes sense, but that's pretty good. So, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of how I think teams are going to tactically line up. I think SKC will line up in a 4-3-3. I think Chicago Fire for the first while are going to try to line up in a 4-3-3 and win the possession battle. I think if Sporting KC starts to dominate the possession battle, Chicago Fire will sit back a little bit more, which would be wise, and maybe try to play in the counter more of a mixed 4-4-3, 4-3-3, some other slide into a different formation. I don't know what formation they would fall back into besides the 4-3-3. And Sporting Kansas City will, no matter what, look to possess the ball, even if we're not doing a great job against another possession-heavy team. So, I believe on the Sporting Kansas City lineup will be Latif Blessing at left wing. Show up here, left wing. Striker is Diego Rubio. And right wing, since no Gerso Fernandez, is the only one. The name's Daniel Shaloli. I don't know why I said that. Okay, Eli Sanchez is at center mid, the deeper line center mid, and then we got, I can't point on the screen, then we got Espinoza, who can play box to box. Then we got Feilhaber on the top of that three, who is the attacking mid. Looking to him, the Friday goals assist. He's definitely a strength. I don't know how he's not in the Gold Cup squad. Then we got Sefcovic. Is Eric Palmer Brown? Is Matt Beasler going to return because Iko Parr is out? And do we want to play a 5'8" center back against against such a good goal scorer in Nemanja Nikolic? I don't think so. Even though he's a good center back for 5'8", if he's just taller, it'd be great. But I would stick in Matt Besler, and then I'm sticking Zusi or Abdul Salam, because you don't really have a choice, in my opinion, of Besler. If he's healthy, you put him in the squad over Kevin Ellis. Sorry, Kevin Ellis. But Abdul Salam is a solid right back, so you could get away with not playing Zusi if you don't feel like he's up to full match fitness for this game after playing the full 90 minutes of the Gold Cup final. Now for Chicago Fire, I don't know them as much, obviously, but I know their starting 11 for the last game was Nemanja Nikolic, obviously. Alvarez at left wing. Sorry for the paper shuffling, I just got to look at the lineups. I don't know the team that well in total. Solojenic at right wing. De Lu at cam. Juninho Schweinsteiger at CDM/midfield. You got Vincent at left back. Mira Kapelov, or however you pronounce his name. I've heard he's a really good center back. Polster and Lampson in goal. Oh yeah, I forgot Tamilio being goal for Sporting Kansas City. Best goalie in the MLS, just saying. I don't know how he's not in the freaking All-Star game. But anyways, I see Max McCarthy, I think his name is. I think he's coming back from the U.S. men's national team. Only played like a few minutes in the last few minutes of the Gold Cup final, so he'll probably play. I don't know where he would exactly play. I'm guessing it's the cam. Maybe the Louvre goes out to a wing, and then he plays cam, and then what's it? Costa. Who's that guy that? What's his name? That got all the goals, and he got his goals and assist. David Acam, yeah. That he's been really solid. So I don't know what position he plays. Maybe he goes out on the wing. The Lou plays cam, and maybe Max McCarthy plays center mid. I don't know how the team works. So that's just what I think. The rest of the lineup will be the same because I don't know too much about the whole thing. I feel like they would have started their best 11 and didn't have that many players away for the Gold Cup squad. So that's my kind of rough starting 11s. I'll do a more detailed starting 11 video tomorrow with my score. Not tomorrow, but later today with my scoring predictions. And so we'll receive more news on players and maybe if Matt Besler and Graham Zusi will play. Check out my channel for other videos about Sporting Kansas City. Make sure to check out my video after the Sporting Kansas City vs. Chicago Fire game for a match day experience. And also make sure to check out my Kansas City Chiefs, Kansas City Royals, KU, and college sports videos. Thank you for watching this video. Please leave a comment on who you think has the better chance of winning. Also, up in the poll, vote who you think is going to win this game. Like the video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, and let's go Sporting Kansas City.